Hello, everyone. Welcome into Yelling from the Couch. I'm Brent Humphries, joined by my co-host Gordon Chatterton, and we're at week 12 of college football. Gordon, this season's flying by. We're in November. We've got a couple more weeks till Thanksgiving, and then this regular season's over with. How you doing, man? You doing all right over there?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. We had a really good week of college football, good weekend. There was some surprises, some not surprises. There's a couple letdowns of our picks, but we'll get into that too, maybe here in a little bit. Namely Missouri. We both thought they was going to at least put up a fight. They got smoked. I mean, they was like the last blunt in Snoop Dogg's house. It got smoked quick.
Yeah, and man, we both thought, yeah, they'll definitely cover that because they're a decent team. Once again, we're kind of like everybody else seems like. We're not giving any respect to Texas A&M. I mean, what a performance.
Was it ever? And then, and we're going to get into this too later, another team that doesn't let anybody breathe almost got their butts whooped Saturday. Indiana had to do was it a great pass and a great catch at the end zone? Hell yeah, it was. It was awesome. They was missing one player, Sprott, wasn't in the game. But yet they looked like they didn't have their whole offensive line. It looked like they had a backup quarterback. They almost lost to the Penn State and Indy lines, which I know they have a lot of talent. Yep. They really do. But they're on an interim coach and their backup quarterback because your starter, which at the beginning of the season was a Heisman hopeful. He didn't play like it, but he's not horrible. He's just having a bad year, and I think it was just a rub off of James Franklin, really.
Yeah, Indiana, like we said, they put the foot down, lay the pedal to the metal, and they did not Saturday. Penn State came to play. Indiana kind of sleepwalk a little bit. Like you said, a great play at the end of the game. What a catch. And, I mean, that's a big boy catch, as we say, because he got both of them feet in bounds.
Oh, yeah.
Somehow, some way. Omar Cooper, what a catch. You know, Surratt usually makes those type of plays. But, I mean, give them props. They hung in there, and they pulled it out on the road.
Yeah, I mean, but one of my topics for our yell or no yell, I'll get into that, what I'm going to bring up about it. But oh yeah, that was most definitely a Sunday afternoon catch.
Yes,
100%. But that team should not have been in that situation. I mean, we talk like they may come out in the first quarter and maybe not hit the hammer just yet, but normally by the middle of the second quarter they've got the hammer down and then it starts. They couldn't get it started because which kind of makes me second guess Indiana just a little bit because that's something they don't do. So there's a flaw that Penn State found. Other teams find it. They better start getting the hammer out real quick, a little quicker, not sleepwalking in these games.
Yeah, definitely. You can't sleepwalk when you play these. Like you said, Penn State, they didn't have their head coach, but they still got the talent. So if you get somebody in there that can, get the juices going for the guys, get them motivated, they got the talent to do it. They can pull it off. They expose something in Indiana. Indiana's going to face some tougher teams coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Can they do like they did at the beginning of the season, or are they more like the team we saw with Penn State? Time will tell.
That's it. Penn State, other than I had my reservations about Drew Aller from the beginning of the season, he never played. Like he played good last year. I thought he was going to play good this year. He regressed. He looked more like his freshman year than his sophomore year.
So another game that we kind of was a little bit off on, and that would be, was it Oregon and Iowa had to come down at the end and kick a field goal with like no time left. I think we said that they'd be close in this. Yeah. We both picked Oregon, but man, I didn't know if it's going to be that close. Oregon should have lost that game.
Yeah, well, Oregon should have lost. Indiana should have lost. I mean, if they would have had just take a little bit more time off that clock, Indiana wouldn't have time to score. I mean, that's how that one fell. Oregon should have lost. A team we thought was a game that we thought was going to be that a team was going to win, but it was going to be close. The Georgia game. Georgia absolutely whooped some ass.
Yeah, Mississippi State, them Cowbells, it didn't matter that day. They put a 3-touchdown win over Mississippi State in Starkville. Yeah. Another game, though, we both picked. I think we both said that BYU was going to play close against Texas Tech.
Yeah.
And, man, the Tortillas, they might as well throw them out of the field. The Mormons didn't have nothing. for Texas Tech. They dominated that game.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think the scores was just, I think they looked more like, I didn't see all of it, but from what I can tell from the low light, that was more like mercy. That was like a mercy score.
Yeah, basically.
I don't care when it was.
Yeah, BYU, I don't know. I don't think they scored for a while. And when they did, just one touchdown. First loss of the season. Thanks, BYU.
Oh, yeah, that was bad. That let you, Tech is for real.
Yeah, they are. Especially if Morton can stay healthy, the quarterback. They're a dangerous team offensively for sure. And they got some defense. They play some defense for a Big 12 school.
Well, Saturday they did. Most times they don't. But Saturday, which lets you know if they need it, they can find it.
Yeah. So another one, Alabama beats LSU. Kind of close for a little while, but never a spot in that game where you're like, oh, LSU can win this.
That was the interim coach inspiration type game. It was closer than it should have been, but it was never in question.
Speaking of interim coach type inspiration, Vandy should have gotten beat to Auburn.
Oh my God, what was it ever? Now we both called it. We said Vandy would win and cover, and it was 6.5. They did cover.
Yeah.
But oh my God.
It took them overtime to do it though, but what a game.
It was and Vandy's defense is better than that. That was just inspiration. That was like the players looked around and says, we got our coach fired. We got to play better than this.
It makes me have a little hope for next week's game with Kentucky and Vandy. Kentucky's got a real shot there. We'll talk about them here in a second. But yeah, I mean, that give me a little inspiration as well.
And it should have, because, I mean, Kentucky held Auburn to
3 points.
3 point? Yeah. Final score was 10-3, wasn't it?
Yep. Yeah, it was. Another kind of shocker. I mean, we'll look over the ACC. Gordon, does anybody want to win this league? Does anybody want to win the ACC? Because Virginia falls to Wake Forest at home.
Oh yeah, we both picked Virginia, and I thought that I think we both said that they won't cover. We have no faith in them. Well, we were right about one thing, just not the first part. They didn't cover.
No, they didn't.
They got beat.
They got beat and only put up 9 points at home.
Yeah,
not good. And then speaking of being at home and blowing a game, the Louisville Cardinals fall in overtime to Cal. The Cal Golden Bears come into Louisville and take down the Cardinals.
I know I was wrong about that one. I can't remember what you said, but I do believe I said that. I thought Loserville would win.
So I picked.
Appropriate name from this week. I didn't think they would cover, but I thought they'd win. My Lord. What it was is the week before, they put up a fight, but I figured coming on the road, it was going to bother them a little bit because they ain't that good anyways, but it's what they say. We experience it when we watch these games every week. When we're wrong, every week, you have the opportunity to get your ass whooped.
Yeah.
You're damn right. I mean, when you lose to that big of an underdog, and my pro team did it, 2 weeks ago, not last week, I think they was only favored by 2.5, and that's because they were the home team. But lost to Carolina, they were 13.5 point favorite, and they got beat because they didn't come out to play and got their ass whooped. They came out ready for an ass whoop.
And we won't talk about any basketball in this, so no need to even mention any college basketball that happened last night or anything with the team we just mentioned. For football, we'll just skip right over that one. And then Wisconsin goes and beats Washington. People were like, finally, Washington's ranked. Yeah, Washington's finally number 23 in the nation. And then they go and lose to Wisconsin the first week they get ranked. Right
Oh my Lord, I thought Washington would win that game. I thought they would win it pretty comfortable. I don't know what you picked. I can't remember, but I know I picked Washington. Oh my God. That was, they're supposed to have this really good offense. Where?
Yeah.
They played Ohio State and they got ran out of the damn stadium. But that's Ohio State. They play good defense. I don't know. I knew Wisconsin had some defense because Lou Fickell is a good defensive coordinator. He was a very good one. But really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So another game in the Big Ten. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Your Buckeyes, number 1 in the nation, takes care of business at West Lafayette, 34-10 over Purdue. Gordon, what would you think about your team's performance this past Saturday? without Carnell Tate for whatever reason.
Said something about him he had back tightness.
Yeah, nobody knew anything going on into the game, and
that's what I mean. You was texting back and forth. I thought I had him for yards and a touchdown. I was like, it'd been nice to know this a half hour before the game when I placed the wager. Yeah, they canceled it out like they did on yours, but it didn't matter because the other thing didn't happen.
Right.
But I thought it was a really good performance. Defense played good. That last touchdown at the end, I guarantee, was just, we don't care. We got you beat regardless. So, but many was talking about the past couple weeks about how they don't stomp on people's throats when they got them down. And there's an interesting note about this. If they have to, they can. But when they don't, they're calling 60 to 70 fewer plays a game than every other team. And if you think about it, most games have 60 offensive play calls. So far this year, like 2 or 3 weeks, they've had 60 fewer play calls. That's like an extra game that they didn't play.
Yeah.
Kind of make, save their energy fresh. That was their point. And I don't see it. I would rather see them just stomp the dog crap out of everybody. But it is a smart game plan because when you get in the playoffs, you're going to play against better teams. You need to be as fresh as possible, and that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, and just saying, him and Smith, once again, they're continuing their Heisman campaign right there with this past Saturday. 300 yards, over 300 yards passing for Saying, 137 for Smith. What else can you say about that duo?
Oh, my God. That was awesome. No Carnell Tate, no problem. We still got Mr. Smith over there.
Yeah, when you got that guy, I mean, you've got something going on there for sure. But yeah, what a performance again. You've done what you're supposed to do. You go out and you beat the teams you're supposed to beat, and you pound the teams you're supposed to beat. It was Purdue for sure. Actually, so Purdue, not Purdue in this one.
No, this ain't basketball. It's Purdue. It's Purdue basketball and Purdue football.
Yeah, that's true. It is. So then we'll go ahead and we'll talk about our next one here. And man, I could actually kind of have a little grin on this show here finally, Gordon. We beat Auburn last week 10-3, but dominated the Florida Gators 38-7. All my whole lifetime, Florida has beaten Kentucky. They beat them 31 straight years. I didn't see a Kentucky win over Florida in my lifetime until 2018. And since then, Kentucky's kind of owned Florida a little bit. And, man, they just smacked Florida down Saturday night. And the only touchdown that Florida scored was a muff punt by Macklin. And that gave them good field position. If it wasn't for that, Kentucky may have shut this team.
Yeah, because DJ Lagway had a very, very shitty game. Great for you all. Bad for Florida. 3 picks. Wasn't that what he threw? 3 interceptions?
3 picks. One of Kentucky's best defenders, Alex Afari, was hurt early in the game. Didn't play. We're running out there with mostly freshmen and sophomores, which I don't know if you want to do that, but it also gives you a little bit of hope for the future of this team.
Oh, yeah.
These guys are getting this against an SEC. I mean, you've got 2 SEC wins back-to-back with playing some freshmen and sophomores to help you build for the future. And that's what you are looking for in a football program, is building towards the future.
Oh, my God, absolutely. Only thing that would have made that game better is if Kendrick Law would have got 6 more yards.
Kendrick Law, what did he end up with?
44.
44, yeah.
And had he not lost 7 yards on that pass play in the second quarter, he would have got his 50, and I would have hit a parlay.
And Kentucky was up 24-7 at the half. Florida gets the ball, and you're like, oh, boy, here we go. Mark Stoops, end of the half, how he does things. They didn't do anything. And then Kentucky comes down on the very next possession after the half, marches right down the field, scores a touchdown, 31-7. And then Dante Dowdell takes a, 65-yard run. I mean, he led the team in rushing. And he only ran the ball 7 times, but Seth McGowan, 92 yards, pounded. And Florida, I believe, quit after Kentucky went up 31-7. That team quit. Kentucky had them whooped, and they just laid down.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, because nobody was getting yards like that until the fourth quarter. Dowdell he broke through the line. I thought it was 69, but it could have been 65. It was a hell of a run, and it was a long-ass run, too. Man, he just busted through, and I mean, it looked like he was running past people and they was in a free jog.
Yeah. And Kentucky, they they got the 3 interceptions as you mentioned. Looking good on defense there. Sacks wise, they just had 1 sack this week after last week's performance, but it really didn't matter. JJ Hester, the touchdown that he got, and we was kind of going out of bounds, he reached over and hits the pylon. Smart heads-up play by, a team that hasn't really had a whole lot of smart heads-up plays all season long. But I'll take it, man. Whatever they did on offense this past week, whether Stoops let Bush Hamden do the play calling and do his own thing, I don't know what that was, but I want more of it.
Yeah, little Devin his only catch was a touchdown.
Yeah, and that's fine with me. That's your only catch. I mean, you got to be happy with that for sure.
Yeah, I think, wasn't the other touchdown reception from Dowdell? No, or was it from? No, I think it was from the other running back.
Seth McGowan?
No,
Jason Patterson.
I think Patterson was the other touchdown catch. He had 1 catch and it was a touchdown.
I should know this. Let me see. The other touchdown catch was Jason Patterson. Good call.
Yeah, but they both had 1 catch, but it was the ones that counted touchdowns.
Yep. Kendrick Law led the team with 44 receiving yards. Sorry, Gordon. Just 6 more is all he needed.
Yeah, I need 50.
Yeah. I mean, Connor Bowley, he didn't have the greatest game. 18 of 23, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. But, I mean,
didn't need it.
Didn't need it. You're dominating a team like that.
Over 200 yards rushing, you don't need it.
No, you don't need it. As long as you're not out there screwing up, turning it over several times, you don't need it.
No.
I'll take it. Kentucky, 2-game SEC winning streak after the way they started and the way I've come on here several times. I'm like, Stoops still got to go. Stoops still got to go. I don't know at this point. We'll see. They're 4-5. There's a chance at a bowl, Gordon. There is a chance at a bowl game.
Yeah, maybe not now. Wait until after the bowl game and then let him go.
Yeah. So that was kind of our little last week recap. Gordon, let's go on and let's talk about our player spotlight. Gordon, you said you've got 2 players you want to spotlight in this one.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give us your first one.
My first one is one of your guys, Kentucky, cornerback. I normally don't try to go corners, but Kentucky players don't get talked about very much. So I figured it'd be okay. JQ Hardaway. He's 6'3". Now I've seen him get burnt, but I've also seen him play very good defense. The reason why I think he'd be good on my team is with the pass rush. He doesn't have to follow people, and he's got good instincts. He jumps. I think that's why he gets burnt. It's because he tries to jump in front. Well, on my team, because he's eligible to come out. He's a junior, right?
I believe he is a senior.
Eligible to come out. Well, you got Micah Parsons there rushing the passer. They ain't got a whole lot of time. So they'll be able to jump passes, come in front. Carrick and Valentine's doing good. And I believe Hardaway's better than Valentine was at that point.
So, yep.
So that's who I got for my team. I like his instincts. I like his size. And one of our biggest problems is the 50-50 ball. And if your corner 6'3", that 50-50 ball kind of goes away. That ain't going to work no more because you got a corner just as tall as the receiver and can probably jump just as high.
Yeah, the thing is with Hardaway, as you mentioned, he can be a little frustrating at times, but more often than not, he's consistent, and you want that guy out there. I like it when Hardaway's out there on the opposing opponent's best receiver. Me and you've texted back and forth, and you're like, you've got to put Hardaway on X player on this other team.
Yeah.
He's like, he's your best cover guy on that guy. Slow him down. And it's like, yeah, you're right, man. That's what they need to do. Who was it? Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Brazil.
Yeah, it was Brazil nuts.
Yeah. And you're like, put him on him. And it's like, I think they put him on him once, maybe twice, but he wasn't on that side of the field. But, I was like, I like JQ quite a bit. I feel pretty good when it's thrown his way.
I said, well, one thing you don't see, jump balls.
Yeah.
50-50 balls don't go in his direction.
And for good reason. As you said, 6'3", not much of a 50-50 shot there,
No, now it becomes a 75-25. It's who's ever's in front.
Yeah. So my position that I'm going to go with, my player, and I may pronounce this wrong, but is D lineman Amari Washington from Oregon. Defensive lineman. 6'3", 330. Big guy up the middle there. The Bengals need all kinds of help on defense. So, of course, I mean, I've picked one offensive lineman in this spotlight so far. The rest, I've went defense because, well, to be frank with you, the Bengals defense absolutely sucks. So when you got to have help there, this guy right here, a really good talent for Oregon. You know, it's hard to run the ball on Oregon right up the middle with Washington there. So I would like for the Bengals to be able to stop the run a little bit, and then you can worry about stopping the passing game too with some of these guys brought in. But yeah, gotta have some D-line help, and that'd be a start.
I gotta agree because they played Iowa. Iowa's, don't get me wrong, they got a few yards, but it wasn't like your typical Iowa games.
Yeah.
They played pretty good. Kind of like that pick. Not a big Oregon fan.
Right.
I do have respect for good play regardless of what team it's from, even the team up north, even though it wants to make me nauseated and makes me want to puke. Good play is good play.
Yeah, absolutely. So your second player that you've got the spotlight, Gordon, you've got two. I just had the one.
Normally I only got one, but that one right there, the two games I've watched more intensively is the two I got from. The other one was from the other game me and you talked about earlier, Ohio State and Purdue. But actually the player I'm spotlighting is from Purdue, the right tackle. I will not say his first name because I guarantee you I can't say it. Last name is Coley. Coly. Purdue didn't give up a sack.
Yeah, I noticed that.
If you don't give up a sack
against Ohio State's defense.
and the reason why I'm spotlighting him is he's right tackle. Our best pass rusher lines up right over him. Curry lines up on that side. And he didn't give, there was no sacks given. So either one of our teams could use that. And he's a big boy. Obviously, he's a big boy. He's a right tackle.
Absolutely. I like that too. If you don't give up any sacks to an Ohio State defense, that tells a whole lot about the personnel you've got on that line for sure.
But it says a lot less about the talent you got around that line. But anyways, that's not the point.
Yeah, there's not much going on. But at least they got a heck of a line. Could you imagine putting that line on some teams that really have some talent in other places, like skill position wise, but they don't have a line?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. That'd be great.
That kind of reminds me of the old Wisconsin Badger lines. Not giving sacks, and they can run the ball. I don't block linebackers, so.
No. So that'll take us now to our next segment of this show, and that is Yell or No Yell. Gordon, how many Yell or No Yell topics do you have this week for us? Got 5. All right.
5.
I got 4 of them, but yeah.
Remember, I told you the other night, I said I already got 3.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So go ahead and give us your first one then.
Instead of going to I'll give you one, but I'm going to go with the one that's closest to my heart.
I got you. Save it.
I'm going with it first. It's about the Packers. I kind of cooled off last week before we did our segment, before we did on Thursday night. But I'm going to tell you what, I'm down to the point now to where LaFleur need to just go home because you watched the game, right?
Yeah, I watched
or some of it.
Most of it until it was just. Well, I think I ended up watching the whole thing. I turned off the Sunday night game because it was like, oh, this is horrible. But I wasn't thrilled with the games. But yeah, I watched most of it.
Oh, it sucked.
Yeah.
Was that not the most conservative play calling? Once again, 4th and 2, shotgun run up the middle. What the really? I mean, only way Matt LaFleur is allowed to keep his playbook call plays if he takes 850 pages of screen passes, pop passes, and shotgun runs out and he throws them away and burns them. Because there is something, I know screens work for some teams. They don't work for us, and they haven't for a while. There is something in that play design that's telling the defense what's coming on. Because they're not even attempted to be fooled. When they start, it's like they're going straight to the player it's going to. They know where it's going. There is a tail somewhere. And so that's shitty play design. All of it. That pop pass. 4th down. What are you doing? I mean, that's horrible. So everyone keeps saying, well, who are you going to replace LaFleur with? I don't know. When they fired Mark McCarthy, they said, who are they going to replace him with? Well, they replaced him with LaFleur. They'll find somebody to replace him with. Fuck it. Lure Lincoln Raleigh out of USC. He doesn't have to worry about defense. Just draw up plays. Maybe not the greatest, but.
Yeah, Lincoln Raleigh.
If you think about this, though, Matt LaFleur come from Tennessee, and he was the offensive coordinator, and they had the 27th ranked defense with Derrick Henry. Tell me about 27th.
27th ranked offense with Derrick Henry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm irritated.
The defense was pretty good under Mike Vrabel there.
Yeah, 27th ranked offense with Derrick Henry.
That says a whole lot there.
And they had A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
And they couldn't do a thing on offense. Okay, I'm done. But I will say this, that there's one other thing I want to add to that. It's not Goody's fault. Well, it kind of is, but it's not. But if they'd have hired the GM I wanted, because me and you talked about this whenever Ted Thompson retired, I wanted them to hire somebody else outside of the system.
Yeah.
And, of course, they did, and they hired someone within the system. I wanted them to hire Louis Riddick for GM. Remember, me and you talked about that a long time, and I'm pretty sure LaFleur probably wouldn't have been the one who got hired.
Yeah, he would have went with somebody else. So, man, I don't know. LaFleur's had some moments where it's like, okay, he's pretty good. And then, like, the last few weeks of this year, the Packers should be setting a lot better. They should be setting a lot better than what they are right now. So, yeah, I'm kind of on the fence about it, but I'll kind of roll with you a little bit here. You should be a lot better than what you are right now with what talent you have for sure. So, yeah, I'll give you a soft yell, maybe but I'll go with you on that because, like I said, he's had some success, but this year's just not it. Yeah. So I'm going to go NFL 2 on my first one, and that is Brian Daboll was fired this past week from the New York Giants. Brian Daboll should have already been fired long before this season.
I'm definitely yelling with you. See, he won Coach of the Year his rookie year.
Yep.
And the second year, they were bad, but there was a reason why they were bad. So I think Saquon was injured, hurt the whole year, right?
Yep.
The following year, he didn't do good, but that wasn't the reason. Should have been fired at the end of that year.
Yep, should have. And I think he's lasted a whole another year after that, and then some of this year. And, he could say, well, I didn't have Cam Scatterboo this year. Malik Neighbors went down. Jackson Dart went down. There's a lot of injuries going around all over the NFL. You still got to find a way to be competitive in most of these games and win. You can't just win 2 games.
Yeah, the Mara family could just say, look at San Francisco. Everybody gets hurt there, and they're still winning. They lost their 3 receivers and still actually won a couple games with none of their top 3 targets.
Yeah. So there's no excuse in the NFL. You either perform or you're out. And it was past time for him to go. So I think they let him have a little bit longer of a leash than what I would have.
Now, to be honest, I don't want him as a head coach ever, but if they brought him in as an offensive coordinator, I probably wouldn't be too upset about it. He's not bad at that. I mean,
some guys are better coordinators than they are head coaches.
Damn right. Matt Patricia is definitely a better coordinator than he was a head coach.
Definitely so. As evidence with what's going on right now at Ohio State.
Yeah.
Gordon, what is your second yell or no yell topic?
We talked about it. We touched on it a little bit at the beginning of the show. Going to bring it up now. One of my yell or yell, no yell topics. Where Penn State showed fight. Indiana stayed at 2, but they should have dropped to at least 4. If a good loss will keep you from falling, sloppy win should drop you down 2.
I'm going to yell with you. I think Indiana should have dropped. I think maybe 3rd only because Alabama's got a loss right now. Indiana's still undefeated, so, But Texas A&M definitely deserved to be up to that number 2 slot after the Missouri game the other day and the way Indiana played at Penn State. Penn State's unranked. They've had several losses. They lost to UCLA, Northwestern. Who else did they lose? They lost to another team. And then Missouri, Texas A&M beat down Missouri, who had only lost to a really good Vandy team and a really good Alabama team. So their losses were a lot different than Penn State's losses. And Penn State still almost had Indiana.
Yeah.
And on the other foot, Texas A&M took care of business and blew out Missouri. I think Texas A&M should have taken over that number 2 slot.
Oh yeah, most definitely. That's what I was saying. I mean, I did not think they should go out of the top 4 at all.
Right.
But no, them and Texas A&M should have at least switched places because A&M was very impressive. Indiana was not.
Yeah. And we're starting to talk a little bit more about Texas A&M. Maybe that'll change after this week, but we can't ignore them anymore. They are a really good team. What was the thing you said about Elko last week? It was something about Elko.
Tickle me Elko.
Tickle me Elko. Yeah. So, I mean, hey, it's back in style again. Tickle me Elko over at Texas A&M. So, man, my next y'all topic, let's look a little bit here at some games this week. And I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. Notre Dame and Pitt is going to be a really good game. Hey, Gage, how you doing, buddy? Notre Dame is not as good as what the record is. Pitt, I think, has got a really good shot to come up and win that ACC at this point in time. I've got Pittsburgh winning the AC.
I was going to save it for the picks, but I'm yelling with you. Right now, the way it's being played, Pitt is the only team that wants to win the ACC. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I think Georgia Tech wants to win it too, but two teams play for the ACC title.
Yeah.
So if I think that it's going to be Pitt and Georgia Tech at the end of it playing for the ACC title, yeah, Pitt could beat them and I'll get into why whenever we start talking about the games. Yeah, I'm going to yell with you. I agree with you.
There we go. Yeah, shout out Gage. We're talking about your college team for once.
Yeah, buddy.
Your next Yell topic, Gordon, number 3 for you.
Well, of course, I had 3 in college football. I said one. Here's the second one. Stowers, the tight end for Vanderbilt, is the best tight end in college football and should win the Mackey Award if he stays healthy.
I'm going to yell with you on that one. I mean, the guy's a beast out there, and, he's really, really good for Vandy. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Pavia might be the guy that stirs the drink, but Stowers is the waiter that's delivering them. So,
yeah,
he's awesome.
Yeah, he is. He's really good. Like him a lot for tight end there. So, yeah, I'm with you on that one. So, the next matchup we've got, the next yell topic I've got here. Man, I think that it's going to be kind of a little controversial here. We talked about Texas A&M, but I think there's going to be a different team to win this SEC championship. I think Alabama's going to win the SEC championship.
They're playing like it, but I have to yell with you on this one only because I got a wager saying that I got Georgia winning that SEC championship. I'm with you. My mind is with you, but my wallet is saying no, Georgia's winning.
Well, the thing is right now is Bama's got the tiebreaker over Georgia right now. So if they're 7-1, that's where
Yeah, I need Bama to drop a game.
At the beginning of the season, after that Florida State game, we threw Alabama out, with the dirty laundry, or whatever the saying is. I don't know. Anyways, and now Alabama, they weren't real impressive last week, but they're winning games now. Those type of games against LSU, kind of like a game against Florida State earlier in the year, they would have dropped that game if it was at the beginning of the season, we thought. And they're just chipping away week after week, come out winning. Ty Simpson's doing enough to win this game. And, I think Alabama's right on track now to be SEC champs once again.
Yeah, like I said, though, my head is saying, yeah, that's probably going to be right. But my wallet's saying, no, Georgia's got this.
And, I mean, it still could happen, though. But I don't know. I just feel like the Roll Tides are rolling again.
I'll be like you on that one. I'm going to give you a soft yell.
Yeah, soft yell.
Yeah.
Gordon, you're number 4, yell topic.
Okay. Diego Pavia. I know he's got a couple losses, and they struggled that week, and he's made a couple mistakes. But he's had enough moments to overshadow them bad spots that he should be the top candidate for Heisman Trophy or Heisman winner as of now.
This is tough right here because I think he does deserve the praise. But, man, you're wearing the hat of the guys I believe are the front runners for the Heisman Trophy.
The reason why I'm saying that is because there's 2 guys that are going to take votes away. Because if it wasn't for Jeremiah Smith, Cornell Tatum wouldn't be nearly as open. And I'm sure they would find somebody else. Don't get me wrong. I know. I mean, this is how it works. But Diego Pavia is the only one in that school that has consideration. Ohio State is always ranked. Vanderbilt was a doormat until Diego Pavia showed up. That's why I'm saying why I'm saying, because I'm looking at where they come from to where they are with that person.
Yeah, I get it. I understand it. I think that he should be in consideration for sure. He's a Heisman candidate. He may even win the Heisman at this point in time because he doesn't have all the weapons and stuff around him as a just saying may have. So, yeah, it's more impressive for him when he does, do the things that he does. So I think I'll yell with you on this one, man. I do like Pavia as a contender, and yeah, I could see why he would be the Heisman Trophy winner. I wouldn't be opposed to it if he won it.
I said Smith is probably higher in my book than saying because
yeah.
But I think Diego Pavia, and he's made Stowers. I mean,
yeah. So my last yell or no yell topic, and it is, we're going to go back to pro football here and talking about the Heisman Trophy of the NFL. The MVP We talked about this before, but I think last Sunday, if he did not put his name in the MVP front-runner category after the run that he had and the game that he had in Berlin, if Jonathan Taylor is not in a serious talk for MVP, they just need to get rid of the award and call it most valuable quarterback and then have another one, most valuable. I know they got offensive player of the year, but they should have like most valuable other player or something like that. You know what I mean? But I think that Jonathan Taylor should be MVP right now. I mean, if it's ended today.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because if you take it off, Daniel Jones, his only good year in New York Giants was when Saquon was healthy all year. He's having a good year this year, but why? Because Jonathan Taylor's dragging that team with him. Now, yeah, they ain't got to drag him now because they're all playing good. But defenses have to key on him, and then when they start keying on him, they have decent receivers that can beat one-on-one coverage, so he can throw and beat him. But Jonathan Taylor is the reason why the whole Indianapolis thing is working like it's working. And if he's not number one right now in the voting, what people want to vote for, then whoever is voting does not need a vote.
No.
Period. Don't need one.
And Daniel Jones did not play that well this past Sunday. Jonathan Taylor carried that team to, so to speak. That one run that he had where they went right up the middle and there was a pile there. And he's like, let me improvise instead of trying to push forward. Runs all the way over to the side and runs it all the way to the house on that play.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how the running backs can sit there and do that? How can you not give consideration to Jonathan Taylor? And I'm going to throw out a little love to a former Ohio State Buckeye as well. How do you not have JSN as a contender for MVP as well? The man's already got over 1,000 yards receiving through 10 games.
He should. He should be number 2, and Jonathan Taylor should be number 1.
9 games. Through 9 games of the season, he's got 1,000 yards.
They already had a bye week, didn't they?
Yeah, they had a bye week. So, I mean, yeah, so even more impressive.
I still think Jonathan Taylor should be 1. JSN should be number 2. I mean, they should be ahead of any quarterback.
And instead, right now, they got Drake May as the favorite on the betting odds, which is fine. Drake May's having a great season. But I wouldn't give it to him over Jonathan Taylor or JSN. Which one's more important to their team? You think Sam Darnold puts up those numbers with just, Jacoby Myers out there as a wide receiver?
Nope. If JSN wouldn't be there, Horton wouldn't be as open, and neither would. And they would just be terrible. And not to break the subject, but we were sitting there talking about that one game in the Raiders. Oh, my God. I feel sorry for their tight ends. They got 2 awesome tight ends. Yep. One was the first round. Both of them were first.
Yeah,
was Mayer first round?
He was first round or second. I think he might have been second, but he was late first round if he was.
He's an awesome. I mean, he's first round talent. They got 2 of the better. One of them is probably one of the best tight ends in football.
I mean, the beast incarnate, Brock Bowers.
Yeah, you're well aware of him because you had seen what 3 years in a row.
His freshman year at Georgia, he caught a pass against Kentucky and just trucked over some guys and ran all the way to the end zone. I'm like, that guy's a true freshman. I was like, he could play in the NFL right now, and he could have at that point.
Hey, you saw that and you said, man, we're in trouble for the next few years.
Yeah, I was like, oh, man, when's that guy graduate again?
Yeah. Mayer is a great tight end, too. They just don't have a quarterback getting the ball. That's why I feel bad for him. I didn't mean to bring it up and ruin your topic. Yeah. Jonathan Taylor is far and away the MVP of the season, and it shouldn't even be a question.
Yeah, like I said, if they don't give him any consideration or any love, just rename it a quarterback award or something at that point in time, But
yeah, hey, move the Davey O'Brien to the NFL and call it the Archie Manning Award or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So, Gordon, your last topic for Yell or No Yell for the week.
Last topic for Yell or No Yell is just a fun one. It's not in football at all. Not basketball either, because I don't watch it that much. You know that. It's a sport, but it's an entertainment.
Oh, sports entertainment.
Yes. They're doing a tournament now for John Cena's final opponent for Saturday night's main event, December 3rd. I think, because now he said there's going to be some people from Raw, some from SmackDown, NXT, and some people that don't even work for the company anymore. And right now on SmackDown, they got a surprise one, and Raw next Monday they got a surprise one. I would like for it to be Batista. One of the guy he came in with, the year he started was the time he started. Him and Batista got called up almost exact same time. They had parallel careers, and they had a huge rivalry for a really long time. I would like for him, and if I had to pick, it'd be him. If not, my second one would be Edge, but that's a little bit harder because he's in A.
Yeah, I think that would be kind of hard to get around. But yeah, Batista would be very intriguing. I'd like to see that as well. But I kind of worry after this past Monday night, is it going to be Dirty Dom to win this tournament and get his Intercontinental Championship back at the end?
If it is, that'd be a huge miscarriage of justice.
I hope that doesn't happen, but I was like, oh, no, is that where we're headed here now? Maybe, hopefully not.
God, I hope not.
I would like to see Batista back in there for one more time with John Cena, even if he doesn't win the thing, just to show up again, be like, oh, there's a possibility to see it one last time.
Yeah. That's what I said. I like to see, because, I don't care who you put in the ring with, the match between John and AJ Styles ain't never going to be topped. No. Oh, my God, that was awesome.
Yeah, and maybe, I don't know if AJ's in the tournament or not, but, I wouldn't mind seeing that one replayed back again for one last time.
No, him giving AJ Styles, the sister Abigail, and typing it off and kissing him on the forehead was just awesome. Fireflies come out.
Yeah, the fireflies are in full effect.
Damn right there.
So that is our yell or no yell segment for this week. A little football, a little pro, a little college, a little sports entertainment as well at the end of that there. So let's go on, Gordon, now. Let's go to our picks for the week, and let's start out first with the Clemson Tigers traveling to Louisville to face the number 20 Louisville Cardinals. Those Dirty Birds are a 2.5-point favorite. Gordon, I think this game's on Friday night. What are you thinking on this one?
If it wasn't for the fact that the way Clemson looks, the way they've been looking, I would say it'd be a closer game. I think Loserville is not going to be the loser's place, not this time. And I got them winning because they got embarrassed last week, and I mean bad. I got a feeling they're gonna come out. They're going to play mad, pissed off, with a vengeance. And I want them to be like this at the end of the year. They play soft and sleepwalk through the game. I got to win by 10. I got Louisville in the cover.
So after last night, the basketball game that we're not talking about on this podcast, I can't sit here and go with that team again. It's L's down for me on this one. Clemson absolutely is terrible. Louisville's probably better than them. Louisville's probably going to win, but I just can't in my heart right now. I'm picking with my heart. I can't go with Louisville at this point in time. L's down. Give me Clemson, and give me a Clemson win because they are the road dog, Jesse James. And boy, I got that one out of the way early in this one.
If it been anybody other than Loserville, you wouldn't have got it.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh man, I got to find a road dog somewhere. Next matchup. We're going to pick it here. It's a little high spread, but one of these teams is coming off of a big win last week. The Wisconsin Badgers going to Indiana to face number 2 Indiana Hoosiers. Indiana is a 29.5-point favorite at home. Gordon, whoa, that's a high spread. What do you think?
Very high. Not as high as my team had last week. And by the way, it didn't cover because they gave up a mercy touchdown in the last minute. But explain why. It actually is good strategy. It's like extra bye week every few weeks. So I got Indiana. I got them covering. They should. I know Wisconsin come off a win that they probably wouldn't have got if it hadn't been Washington. I still don't get that. But they're better than that.
I thought so too, but I'm going to go with you on this one, man. I'm going Indiana, and I'm with you. I think they cover because Wisconsin's just not as good of a team as Penn State. This game's back in Indiana. Indiana's going to want to make a statement again to be like, hey, we're still an elite team here. Don't forget about us. I got Indiana winning this one too, and I got Indiana covering big. I think that this is one of those games where they just put the foot on somebody's throat and just stomp.
Yeah, I think Surratt's back this week. So
our next matchup we got here, it's going to be a top 25 matchup. The number 9 Notre Dame Fighting Irish going to Pittsburgh to face the number 22 Pitt Panthers. Notre Dame is a 12.5-point favorite at home. Gordon, is this disrespectful to the number 22 Pitt Panthers or what?
Being 12.5-point dogs at home, kind of, because their record is almost the same, isn't it?
Yeah, both 7-2.
Okay, so what makes them think Notre Dame is so much better? Just because they wear golden domes and historical doesn't make a damn thing about this year. I'll be honest with you. I told you earlier, I think Pitt is going to win this game, and there's 2 reasons. Number one, where they're playing. The worst field and worst NFL in the NFL. So it can't be it has to be pretty close to the worst field in college football, too.
The big ketchup bottle.
Oh, yeah, which is worse than the big sombrero. But anyways, whole different team. But I like the way Narduzzi game plans very well for these very strong running teams. And that's what Notre Dame is.
Yeah.
I mean, Narduzzi's been doing it for a while. He did it when he's at Michigan State as the defensive coordinator. Very good. I mean, I think they're going to win this one. And it's been playing some really good football here past, 4 or 5 weeks?
Yeah. Ever since they made the change from Eli Holstein to Mason, what's his name, at quarterback. I can't pronounce the guy's name. But ever since they've done that, team has taken it to a whole nother level. And as you mentioned, he plays pretty good against the run. Notre Dame has Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price. Both those guys can get over 100 in a game. You slow that down, you slow Notre Dame down, you've beat Notre Dame. Pitt on the road, I've got them winning as well as the underdogs at home. Pitt gets up a huge victory at home, coming off of a bye week for Pitt. Give me the Pitt Panthers. And there you go, Gage. We both picked and it wasn't because Gage is our podcast partner. I legit think Pitt is the better team in this one, at home at least.
I do too. I gave me reasons. Remember when I picked Indianapolis to lose at the Steelers, I told you, I said it's because of that damn field.
Yep. That field plays a big factor. And we'll see if it does Saturday night, which it will, or Saturday afternoon. But, yeah, I think it's going to be a good game, though. But I like Pitt.
Oh, yeah, me too.
And now we talk about number 18, the team up north, traveling to Northwestern to face the Northwestern Wildcats. The team up north is an 11.5-point favorite. Gordon, who do you like here in this matchup?
Northwestern's been playing some good ball. They're not going to beat the team up north, but they have been playing good ball. After they beat, when they beat Penn State and went on, they ain't won them all, but they've been playing teams a lot better than what you'd think. I have the team up north winning, but I have Northwestern covering.
I think you're about spot on this one, Gordon. Michigan, I mean, they're not a fun team to watch whatsoever. I mean, who sits and watches a Michigan game and is like, I'm going to sit here and watch a fun ball game? Nobody, because it just doesn't happen. Northwestern, I mean, they're kind of middle of the pack, Big Ten, but they're going to be bowl eligible. They're going to make a bowl game. They beat Penn State. The reason James Franklin got fired. I think they'll keep it competitive, but ultimately I think Michigan wins this game. Northwestern covers at home, though, in a low-scoring, ugly game because that's the way most Michigan games are.
Home dogs.
The next matchup we've got, and talk about conference that really doesn't actually talk about like a group of 5 that doesn't want a team to be in. Like, who wants to win this group of 5? Anybody? Bueller. Number 24, South Florida Bulls travel to Indianapolis to face the Navy Midshipmen. USF is a 9.5-point favorite on the road. Gordon, Navy took their that was their second loss. Both these teams are 7-2. Who do you like in this one?
Oh, my Lord. If South Florida plays like the way that we watched them play at the beginning of the year, they can win. If they play like they played there for a couple weeks, then they ain't got a snowball chance in hell. But just to keep it up, I mean, because I'm thinking, give me South Florida, but no cover. I think. Now, last week I said Navy wasn't going to give them enough possessions to cover 4 touchdowns, and they did more than that. They could have been 35-point underdogs and still wouldn't have had enough points. They got their asses kicked.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I hate to say that about the.
Yeah. I kind of feel a little un-American here on this pick here, but, hey, it is what it is. South Florida, like you said, if we get the South Florida team that we've seen earlier in the year, not the South Florida team that got beat by Miami and then lost to, who was that they lost to a couple weeks ago? Memphis. If we get the other South Florida team, because, I mean, Brown, that quarterback back there, is a Cam Newton-type player when he's playing well. I mean, he's a tight end back there playing quarterback. I think South Florida's going to be just too much athleticism on that field against Navy. Navy's going to keep it close, though, but I'm going to go South Florida on this one. And I think South Florida actually covers. They win by 10, barely cover it, but it'll be a good game for the most part. But South Florida wins, and they kind of grab a hold of that. Right now they got the number 12 spot in the playoffs. I think they kind of hold on to it right Next matchup, we go Arizona Wildcats traveling to number 25 Cincinnati to face the Cincinnati Bearcats. Cincinnati's a 6.5-point favorite. Gordon, we started hyping up Cincinnati a little bit, and then they go out and they get beat. What do we think about this one here, though?
Well, they're at home, and this is Arizona, not Arizona State. I don't know what to say because both these teams have wins that you can't explain, and they've got losses you can't explain. Both of them. So I'm going to take, just for the thrill of the coin flip, I got Cincinnati, but I don't have them covering. I think it's going to be a 3-point game.
Yeah, this game's at home here. I've doubted Cincinnati most of the season, and then when I just start getting on the bandwagon a little bit, being like, not on the bandwagon cheering wise, but like, okay, Cincinnati's a good team, decent. They go when they lose, and I'm like, okay, well, they're still top 25, still a good team. Arizona's 6-3, kind of sneaky out there a little bit. I'm going to go Arizona in this one. I think they get the win at Cincinnati. Give me Arizona to pull off the upset, as they are the road dogs in this one. The next matchup we've got the NC State Wolfpack traveling to Miami to face the number 16 Miami Hurricanes. Miami is a 16.5-point favorite. Gordon, NC State got a big win. Was it last week against Georgia Tech or the week before?
I think it was the week before.
Yeah.
You know, to be honest with you, it would be easier if someone can answer me which Carson Beck is showing up. Is week 1 through 5 Carson Beck showing up, or is that dumpster fire or is that flaming turd that we saw there for 2 weeks? He was a flaming turd, then they had a bye week, then he come back out as a flaming turd. I mean, which one are we getting? Because if that flaming turd shows up, in-state's going to dog walk him. But if he shows up like he can, they could pull it off. I have no idea. And flat out, to be honest with you, because I don't know, I would rather be wrong calling for the underdog than be right and then be wrong by calling off the huge favorite. Give me NC State. And they're the road dogs.
Oh, yeah. You don't know what we're getting week from Carson Beck or Miami. They're free-falling right now. They haven't looked good the last few weeks. A whole lot different team than what we've seen the first part of the season. NC State coming off of a bye. The week before, they beat Georgia Tech, and they beat them pretty handily. Not much of a game, really, in that one. This game's on the road. I think I'm going to think that Carson Beck's going to finally find good Carson Beck this week, maybe, and Miami wins. But NC State covers this spread. 16.5 is a lot. NC State, you know, they're going to cover.
I said I picked him out 1 week, and I said you could probably add 10 points to it, and they win because they was only like 7-point favorites, and they got beat by. I'm thinking, I'm like, never again. That was a first flaming turd appearance.
So our next matchup that we've got, and it is a top 25 matchup. Number 22 Iowa Hawkeyes traveling to Southern Cal to face the USC Trojans. USC's a 6.5-point favorite at home. Gordon, what are we thinking on this matchup right here?
This is going to be probably going to be a better game than what people think. Iowa plays good defense.
Yes,
but we get good play calling Lincoln Riley. He can beat good defense. He's done it before. He's done it a few times. But are we going to get that one? Because he struggled finding that guy a couple times this year. They've got losses that they shouldn't have lost. But give me USC and the cover because it's in the Coliseum. If it was in Iowa, it's going to be.
Yeah, I'm going to go with you here. I think USC wins. I think they cover. They can put up a lot of offense. Rocky Maivia, whatever the quarterback's name is over there. He's pretty good. Mekhi Lemon is a really good wide receiver. Guy puts up like 80-some yards a game, it seems like. Every time you look at the box score, it's Lemon always, at the top of it for USC, and he's got a lot of yards. On the other hand, Iowa, they're going to slow that down a little bit. There's a reason Iowa games are always over under 41, 42. One game last year, they were like 24.5. And the under hit, if that tells you anything, on a 24.5-point spread. 24.5 over.
Yeah, that was last year. I remember that because I actually played the under.
Yeah, I played the under in a lot of Iowa games last year. This year it's been a little bit different, but the under hit last week against Oregon, it was 42.5, and they only hit 34. But this game right here, the over-under is 49.5. Give me USC to win. Give me a USC cover. But give me the under in this one. They're going to keep it close, low scoring in this one, but USC covers. but the under hits as well in this.
Predicting a final score of like 2010.
Yeah, something like that. I think so. The next matchup we've got, number 19 Virginia travels to Duke to face the Duke Blue Devils. Duke's a 4.5-point favorite at home. Virginia coming off of that bad loss last week against Wake Forest. Can they bounce back on the road at Duke? But the Blue Devils get them.
We talked about this last week. When Georgia Tech went there and was undefeated, Duke was favored. And I said, I don't know why. Found out why. Duke plays good defense. And Duke's a good team, especially at home. I was actually quite pleased watching the game. It wasn't as boring as shit I thought it was going to be. Because normally if Georgia Tech takes control of the game, it's boring as hell. You know, there's a whole lot of running between 3 and 4 different people, very little passing and defense. It's normally a very slow game. Very entertaining game. I got Duke, I got them, and I've got them covering. And how in the hell is Virginia still ranked 19th?
That's a great question.
I know they only got 2 losses, but
yeah, I don't see how they're ranked 19th either. Duke's 5-4. They lost last week to Connecticut. Connecticut's a lot better than what people give them credit for. Duke played up there in Connecticut. Connecticut's a decent team this year. They're kind of building something up there a little bit, it seems like, for Connecticut. I like Duke in this one. I think Duke wins. I think Duke covers at home because they're a pretty good team, as you mentioned. So I like the Blue Devils here. Virginia, I think your top 25 run ends after this Saturday.
Should already be going. I mean, you lost to Wake Forest. I think they even got a losing record right now, don't they?
I think they're 5-6-3, maybe, actually.
Okay, well, they're better than what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, still not the best of the ACC, but nobody wants to win that conference. Next matchup we got, number 11 Oklahoma Sooners travel to Tuscaloosa to face the number 4 Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama's a 5.5-point favorite at home. Gordon, what are we thinking here?
When I first saw the game, I was thinking Alabama because they're at Bryant-Denny. Oklahoma's not a bad road team. I mean, they actually play pretty good, and Mateer's even getting healthier. I mean, I got Alabama. Alabama will win, but I think it's going to be, last possession, retake the lead. I think Alabama's going to win, but it ain't going to be by 5. I think it's going to be less than that. It's going to be like 3 or 4. It's going to be like they need a touchdown. They can't win by a field goal.
Yeah, so when Oklahoma's 2 losses, Mateer was out against Texas. He played against Texas, but he should have stayed out.
Yeah.
And then they played Ole Miss, and Ole Miss, I mean, that was a good game between both them teams there. Alabama, we talked about their 1 loss, Florida State. They've reeled off, 8 in a row now, I think it is? Yeah, 8 in a row. This should be a really good game. Oklahoma's got a really good defense. It'll be interesting to see if Alabama can get stuff going against that defense. It'll be interesting to see if Mateer can get some things going against that defense of Alabama. That being said, I got Alabama winning this game by field goal at home. Alabama wins, continues the winning streak, and knocks Oklahoma out of playoff contention. Our next matchup we've got, top 25 matchup. Well, no, one team's top 25. Number 15, Utah, travels to Baylor to face the Baylor Bears. Utah's a 7.5-point favorite. Gordon, what do we think here?
This is going to be a game. If you like points, this is going to be a game you're going to want to watch. If what you like is defensive battles, do not watch this game. Well, you don't want to watch any Big 12 game if you like defense, but definitely this one. Baylor puts up points.
Yes.
Puts up a lot of them. Utah can put up points and put them up in bunches, but because it's at Baylor, I still got Utah winning, and I got them covering, but barely.
Call me crazy that I'm picking another upset here, but I've got the Baylor Bears winning an upset. Sawyer Robinson can put up a lot of yards as a quarterback for Baylor. And then they've got Bryson Washington, a running back. I've watched a little bit of Baylor football this year because they're fun to watch. And if you do player props on college football, check into Baylor football because they like to put up the yards for sure. Utah, they've got 2 losses on the year. They lost to BYU and they lost to Texas Tech or Arizona State, 1 and 2. A really good team. Like you said, they can play defense. They could put up some points on offense too. But I think Baylor comes out here and gets the upset at home. Give me the Bears in Baylor. Our next matchup we've got the TCU Horned Frogs traveling to BYU to face the BYU Cougars. BYU is a 4.5-point favorite coming off of their first loss of the season. Gordon, can they bounce back? Because TCU also is a team that likes to put up points.
I think they're going to come out because BYU plays better defense than what they did last week. But then again, let's just be frank. Texas Tech has an offense that's hard to plan for. I mean, we've seen it for a couple weeks. I mean, games that we thought that they should be close or maybe they shouldn't win, they dog walk a person. They dog walk that other team. But I think BYU's going to, the running Mormons are going to go back to Provolone, and I think they got them. I got BYU winning and a cover because they're going to be pissed. They're out of Provolone.
So the TCU Horned Frogs are another team that likes to put up a lot of points. They like to throw the ball around. Hoover back there at quarterback, I mean, he puts up yards just like Robertson does for Baylor. BYU coming off of their first loss of the season. The Stormin' Mormons are going to be pissed off looking for revenge, and TCU just happens to be that team coming into Provolone. Give me BYU to win, and I think BYU will cover this spread right here and keep their playoff hopes alive. And our next matchup, a top 10 matchup, the number 10 Texas Longhorns travel to Athens to face the number 5 Georgia Bulldogs. The Dogs are a 5.5-point favorite at home. Gordon, I got a feeling I know you're rolling with in this one, but what do you think?
My wallet is rolling with this one, so I am too, because my wallet kind of is essentially me. Let's be frank here. Last week gave me more confidence in them because it's looking like their offense is starting to get healthy and starting to get clicking good. And this is the type of defense Arch Manning and Texas do not play well. The hurry up will not help them with this because why are you going to hurry up just to get stopped 3 times real quick? I mean, you do a hurry up a couple of times and you're only out in the field 20 seconds because of, or a minute because of, time holding it. And then you're off and then your defense has got to be on there for 6, 7, 8 minutes, and then your offense come back out in another minute and a half, and then your defense. No, they're going to stop that. I got Georgia winning and cover because it is being played between the hedges.
Yeah, Georgia, Texas last week they were off, but the week before beat Vandy by 3 at home. Week before that they played Mississippi State, went to overtime. Texas won by a touchdown. The week before that, Kentucky held them to 16 points in overtime. Kentucky also played Georgia, and Georgia just handled Kentucky pretty easily. Texas doesn't seem to play real well against teams that have a really good defense. Ohio State, I'm going to throw Kentucky in there. And then Georgia has a really good defense. I like Georgia to win this one. I think Georgia actually covers. It's a rematch of last year in the playoffs and the SEC championship game. Give me the Dogs. Yeah, give me the Dogs in this one. I think they cover. Not the underdogs, the actual Bulldogs in this one.
Yeah.
The next matchup we've got the UCLA Bruins. Everybody's darling a few weeks ago. They fell off. Traveling to Columbus to face the Ohio State Buckeyes, number 1. Ohio State is a 32.5-point favorite. Gordon, the spread just keeps rising every week with Ohio State. What do you think here?
Well, you know what I'm not doing?
Not picking the spread.
Right. I've got Ohio State winning. Tate should be back. He shouldn't have back tightness. I mean, he got no leverage because he just saw without him, Jeremiah Smith is
still Jeremiah.
More than enough to carry the team. But an extra week of rest, let his legs rest up. Yeah. And maybe with him out there, maybe we can. I mean, we have our running game hasn't been going good, but ain't really needed it. But it would make me feel better to know that if you need it, you can. You know what I mean? Try running the ball. So, get up a few touchdowns and then put some emphasis on running the ball almost an entire drive just to see if you can do it. But don't give it to C.J. Donaldson. He's big. He's good for a goal line. He'll get you a yard when you need a yard. If you need 3 yards, he'll get you a yard. But I got Ohio State winning and lots of air yards.
Yeah, so the love fest that everybody's had with UCLA since they fired Foster, it's kind of tailed off a little bit here recently in the last few weeks. And Ohio State's still the number 1 team in the land. Ohio State's been dominant. I look for them to continue the dominance this week. I think Ohio State wins, and I think Ohio State covers this spread right here. It's a big spread. I don't think UCLA is going to score a whole lot of points in this one here. Give me the Buckeyes, and give me the Buckeyes cover. And that'll lead us to our last matchup of the week, and that is the Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles, maybe? I don't remember what they are. They travel to Kroger Field to face the Kentucky Wildcats. There is no spread on this game. But Gordon, what are we thinking here?
Well, it's easy to cover without a spread. Now, had this been 30, 35 years ago, might have been a little bit different. I do believe that's the school that Terrell Owens went to and got drafted from, Tennessee Tech. I think so. It's either Tennessee Tech or Tennessee A&M. I don't know. I can't remember. It was the Tennessee school that was not University of Tennessee. It had Tennessee in the name. Can't remember. But I can give you a spread of 30 and be confident to say that Kentucky can cover it.
Chattanooga. That's where Terrell is.
Tennessee, Chattanooga. That's right. I knew it was Tennessee, but I couldn't. My bad. I do not want to give misinformation. Thank you for checking it for me.
So Tennessee Tech is 10-0 this season, undefeated in the FCS. Not a little pushover FCS team coming in to face Kentucky. A couple weeks ago, I'd have been a little bit nervous about this game. Tennessee Tech, Kentucky. The way Kentucky's played the last 3 weeks, really, has given me some confidence about this team. I didn't have any confidence at all a few weeks ago. I mean, I was pretty like, do we really have to go over these college picks, man? And now I'm like, yeah, I mean, Kentucky, they got a chance to make a bowl. I mean, look, we'll go to the Cotton, But if we went to the Cotton Bowl, that'd be a pretty big achievement right now. But I like Kentucky to win this game right here against Tennessee Tech, and I look for them to kind of dominate Tennessee Tech. Tennessee Tech, they like to put up a bunch of points. Their point total is going down after this week. That defense is not going to let them score a whole lot, and the offense is going to put up quite a bit. I think Kentucky wins big, really big, like 4 or 5 touchdowns big. Give me the Cats. Go Cats. Kentucky wins. And that'll do it for our pick'ems for the week on here. Gordon, do you got anything else you want to add at the tail end of this?
Saw some news today, and I know he's not on your fantasy team, and I don't think he's on Gage's either. For tomorrow, there's a player that is going to be out that was just got put on the big goose egg by his name. Marvin Harrison Jr. Appendicitis.
Yep, emergency appendectomy.
Ouch.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And he was, the sad thing for him, he was just coming around too. Like Jacoby Brissett was actually throwing to him and finding him the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Something Kyler hasn't done the whole time he's been there.
I have my picks I'll send them to you too, the pro picks.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, that way if you have a question in case of Gage asks, because that one time I was making underdogs, you said why, and I wasn't there able to answer it because I got work Friday, so I won't be on there with you tomorrow night. Pat's covering.
Well, we'll go over that here in a little bit. But that'll do it here for us on this podcast here.
Okay.
And we will see you all later.